Hi, today I'd like to talk about efficiency, and I mean efficiency both with your camera and with your army. So, let's start. First of all, you should remember that there are two ways of controlling your camera at the game, and first of all is it's called standard camera. So, which means that the angle of the camera is set by default. So when you zoom in, it changes, and when you zoom out, it changes as well. Also, when you rotate the camera and zoom in and zoom out, it is done based on the point at the center of your screen. And the second way of controlling your camera is called classic total war camera, and which means that when you zoom in and zoom out, it is done just purely vertically. And when you rotate your camera, it is also done based on the position that you are in. It's like you're looking from first person view. So, controlling your camera, select one of two ways, which is more convenient for you. I mostly use classic Total War camera, but it's just an old habit of mine. You should always use your left hand. You should always move a camera using WASD keys. You should always rotate your camera using Q and E. And also remember to press Shift to speed up the camera. So if you just press A, camera goes left, and if you press A and left shift, it goes left faster. It also works when you rotate the camera. Don't forget to use your mouse wheel to zoom in and out, and click your mouse wheel and move your mouse around to look at any point of the battlefield that you want to look at. So that's pretty much it about the camera. Just always use your left hand. Let's talk a bit more about controlling and selecting your units. First of all, selecting. We all know how to select units. You can just click them, or you can just, click and drag to select several units. There are also several additional ways which you can use to be more efficient. So first of all, use Control to select several units of any type, or of course you can click on units themselves or on the unit cards. Second key is Shift. So if you click Shift, you select all units from point A to point B, and that works both ways with unit cards and with units on the battlefield. So if my units are in a line, and it doesn't matter if these are different kinds of units, I just hold left shift and I click and I select all three of these units. It can be very useful if you have like a long line of infantry and it consists of several types of infantry, maybe spears, spikes, swords, axes, and so on, and you need to select them. And you just sometimes you try to click and drag, but your camera might be not aligned perfectly, or something might be a bit off, and shift might be a very useful way to do it. Also, don't forget, when you double click your unit, the camera goes directly to that unit. It works from any point on the battlefield. Another useful detail, click, uh, when you press Control and click and double click any unit, you select all units of that type. It doesn't mean that you select all the infantry or all the swordsmen, no. You select all the particular units of that name. So all my uh, horses, Tagmata cavalry will be selected if I just control and double click it. All my swords will be selected, or my pikes will be selected, or all my bows will be selected. Also, of course, the generic shortcuts is Ctrl A for all, Ctrl I for infantry, Ctrl M for missile infantry, Ctrl C for cavalry, and Ctrl B for your siege units. So you should use that sometimes. Of course, you can always click home to select your general and to move your camera to your general. Just click home, press home, sorry, and you can press end to move your camera to the currently selected unit, which can be useful sometimes. And always to deselect any unit, you just left click at any part of the battlefield or just press enter. So that's pretty much it about selecting your units. So let's talk a bit more about moving them, attack orders, grouping them, and so on. So first of all, we all know single right click is a move order, double right click is a move order and they will run, and you can click and pull your click right mouse button and pull your mouse to set some kind of formation, uh, some kind of formation. Always remember that when you order your units to move in a formation, they will always run unless you are using left control. So in that way, your units will go very slowly and they will not use as much fatigue. So left control allows you to move by walking. If you want to cancel an order, you just press backspace and the order is cancelled and your units will stop. You can always also, if you, let's say, if you want to send them here, but then you change your mind and you don't want to send them here anymore, you just click your left mouse button and that's it. Your order is cancelled. So left mouse button or just press escape. Escape or left mouse button allows you to cancel your order. Remember that you can set up a queue for orders. You just press shift and you can give additional orders, so they will go here and they will go here afterwards. But it's not very efficient, so I can give several orders and you can see the line have several points here, here and here, and at each point my cavalry unit will stop. They will reform, so they will try to restore formation, so they will go here, restore formation, they will go here, restore formation, they will go here, restore formation, and so on, which is very slow. So what I can do, and this is a new thing in Attila, I can just hold left shift and hold my right mouse button and just draw a line. And that way my units will go along that line and they will not stop and they will do it very fast and very efficient. So this is really cool. You should use it all the time because it allows you to give difficult orders to your units and they will follow them, and this is really simple and kind of fun and really efficient. So the next part about controlling your units is using the arrows. So if you want to move your unit forwards, you just press the forward arrow or backwards or left or right. So this is pretty intuitive. But you can use control to modify these orders. So if I press control and press left or right, my unit will rotate. If I hold control and press forward or backwards, I will change the formation of my unit. Also, some modifiers when selecting a single unit or an army. So if I hold my left Alt button and hold my left mouse button, I can just drag any unit. So left Alt and left mouse button allows you to drag a unit and saving its formation. If I need to, like I said before, I can just use my right mouse button to give some kind of complicated order. But sometimes I just need to save formation, and so I want to send my unit forward and facing to the right. I just hold left Alt, click my right mouse button, and they will hold formation, but they will be, I can tell them to look at any side I want them to. So left Alt and right mouse button to save formation. Also, sometimes you need to, if you just simply click your right mouse button, your units will start, the formation will be from point A to point B, but sometimes you need it centered. Sometimes, let's say you want your spears behind your arrows, archers, and you want them to be perfectly aligned. So you just go here, you press right Alt, and you pull the right mouse button, and that's pretty much it. Your units will be centered based on the point when you started giving them an order. So that's pretty much all the information about controlling single units. And now let's talk about grouping your units. So sometimes it is very efficient and very useful to give orders to your units as an army. So let's say I want to group my archers. So I just select them and I press G, which means that you can see here they will have a number 1 and a lock, a small lock, which means that they are bound to number 1 on my keyboard, and when I double click 1, I select them and my camera goes there. When I just simply press it one time, I just select them, And when I give them orders to both units, and they will hold formation. If I don't want them to hold formation, if I just want them to be selected at once, I should press Ctrl G. As you can see here, when I press Ctrl G, the lock disappears, which means that they will still be selected by pressing 1, and quick double press of 1 will still navigate me to that unit, but I can change their formation, which can be very useful and in a lot of different situations. And the final part of my so-called presentation, let's call it that way, is army management as a whole single unit. So let's say in the most of battles, I start with aligning my army like this: archers in front, spearmen in the second line, and my main melee units in the third line like this, and general in behind. And all the time I want my units to keep formation. And what I do is I just select them and I press G, which means that they will hold this formation whenever, whichever order I give them. Sometimes you just go forward, okay? So you're just going forward, and let's say the enemy army tries to attack you, enemy cavalry tries to flank you, and so on. And you select your swordsmen and you send them to the right, another unit to the back. You use your spears to shield your archers, you pull back your archers, you send your general to go somewhere to help you guys. So right now my army looks like it lost its formation. And what I need to do to restore that formation, I simply press 1 to select them as a unit, and I give them another order. Sometimes, as you can see, the formation will be lost. I'm not sure if this is a bug or if this is a feature. It feels more like a bug, but it's kind of rare, so you shouldn't pay much attention to it. As you can see, it's pretty easy to restore formation. I just restored it, and I can move my army once again as a whole unit. So that's pretty much it. You should remember that all the modifiers, all the controls, shifts and alts, they also work at your army, so I can press left alt and I can move my army around as I want them to. I can use control to make them walk instead of running, and so on. That's pretty much it about controlling your army as a group of units. And at the end of the video, I'd like to just point out a few maybe trivia, fun stuff that you can use to make better, prettier screenshots or something like this. If you just press K, it makes all the interface disappear, so you can make really, really beautiful screenshots. Or if you want to make a video and you want to make it feel more cinematic, and by cinematic I don't mean console cinematic, 30 FPS and so on, I mean aspect ratio, like in the movies, 235 to 1, you just press Alt K and you get this image. Also, there are 3 additional camera features in the game. You can press delete to make your camera follow a single unit. You can press insert to make it even more awesome, like this. Or you can press N, which will make your camera make this like cinematic move. I'm not really sure how it's called, but sometimes it allows you to get like really, really beautiful screenshots, and sometimes it looks silly because, as you can see, I'm running Attila on very low configuration on the lowest graphical settings, so when I try to zoom in on these guys, I just get like low resolution sprites. Probably this is how Shogun 1 looked like. Also, a little hint, if you need your archers to go into melee without cancelling their ability to shoot, you just press left alt and you can click them to go here, and they will attack in melee. It's just a little detail that I use a lot, and a lot of my viewers ask me how I do this, so just press left alt. It not only allows you to move your units around, it also allows your missile units to go into melee without cancelling their missile attack in general. So that's pretty much it for today. I hope you liked this video, and I see you around. Goodbye.